Hi, this is Beatrice with Bake Deco, and today I'm going to show you how to make this bright and colorful, super easy vintage birthday cake. First, we're going to start by preparing our buttercream icing. I'm going to be using satin ice, bright white vanilla flavor, and you can purchase that at bakedeco.com. I'm going to be using a paddle attachment to prepare my buttercream mix. The reason you want to use a paddle attachment is to avoid whipping extra air into your buttercream mix. So with a paddle attachment, you'll be able to have a nice smooth buttercream finish. If you use a whisk attachment, you risk whipping in too much air, which leaves you with all those little air bubbles. So we're gonna use the paddle attachment so that our buttercream comes out nice and smooth. I have here 2 pounds of buttercream mix, and I'm gonna add 1 stick of butter. So it's 4 tablespoons of butter per pound. And since we have 2 pounds, it's gonna be 1 full stick, which is 8 tablespoons, or half a cup. Next, I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of water. So depending on the consistency that you want to achieve with your buttercream, you can add less or more water. If you want a softer buttercream, you can add a little bit more. If you want a stiffer buttercream, you can add less. Now that our buttercream is prepared, we are going to separate them into bowls and add some color. The colors that we're going to be using today are sky blue. Actually, no words here, just the mixing. So with any cake, you want to start with a already crumb coated and chilled cake. And we crumb coated this in blue, and that's going to be our base color. And now we're going to start icing our cake. I always start with the top, and I try to get it as flat as possible, and then I move on to the sides. And now we're going to start smoothing out our cake. I like to use a tall icing smoother. It just makes the whole process so much easier. And this is one of our Wilson smoothers. We also have acrylic smoothers, and they're all available at bakedeco.com. So I like to wipe off my icing smoother each time that I use it. And you do this because you want to avoid the leftover buttercream from catching on to the other buttercream and kind of pulling it off the cake. So you want to make sure that each time you're icing the sides of your cake, you're starting with a clean or wiped icing smoother. So now wherever I see any little gaps, such as these, I'm going to go ahead and just fill them in with buttercream. And I'm going to do that for the rest of the cake. So for this design, you don't have to worry about having the bottoms perfectly smooth or the edges, because we're going to be piping shell borders for this. So I'm just flipping it over to the clean side. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and flatten out my edges. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, and that's what's great about this design. Okay, and a little rule of thumb when it comes to decorating cakes, you want to generally start from the top to the bottom. There's going to be some occasions where you're going to need to pipe some details along the bottom before you get to the top, but generally you want to start from the top, and that would include the sides. For vintage cakes, a great hack is using circle cookie cutters to mark where you're going to be piping on the sides of your cakes. So this will ensure that you get an even half circle when piping. So you're going to be covering all of that with buttercream. So I'm going to be using the half circles as a guide for where I'm going to be piping my buttercream. So for this design, we're going to do all shells. So it's very easy and simple for beginners. Anybody can do it. We're using different size shells. We're going to be doing a small star tip, a large star tip, and a French star tip, and these are all open star tips, but they're different sizes. Some of them are different styles, so it's going to give us a different texture to the cake. So when you are piping a side border on your cake, you want to start with that. So that is an exception to starting from the top. And I'm going to be using my small star tip, and I'll just be creating a small shell border. Top border, we're going to be using a large open star tip. And now to add a different color, we're going to use a light purple, and we're going to be using our French star tip to do another border on the inside and the outside of our large star tip border. Now we're going to move on to the bottom of our cake, and we will be using a large star tip for our border. We'll be adding another shell border using our French star tip with purple. Some teardrop shells. And if you want to make the design even more intricate, you can add some more borders in different sizes or different styles. I want to stick to something easy and simple, but sky's the limit with the design that you can come up with with vintage cakes. A little bit more of a border here. to complete our look, we're gonna be adding one of our Au Creme Happy Birthday cake toppers. So I'm just gonna place this right in the middle. And there you have a simple and easy vintage birthday cake. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Bake Deco for more tutorials like this.